The book I decided to read for my online speech delivery assignment was Descartes, An Analytical and Historical Introduction by George Dicker. I think it's a pretty good book as just like an introduction to philosophical thought, and there's a very interesting first 2 pages. Descartes' goal. If one had to describe in a single word what Descartes does in his first meditation, the word would have to be the verb doubt. Throughout meditation 1, Descartes doubts or calls into question his previous beliefs. From a logical point of view, however, Descartes' famous and dramatic decision to doubt all his previous beliefs is not his point of departure. Rather, his logical point of departure is a statement of the purpose for which he will doubt them. In the very first sentence of Meditation 1, Descartes declares that he must question his beliefs. If he wanted to establish anything at all in the sciences that was stable and likely to last. And near the end, he repeats that he must withhold assent from his previous beliefs if he wants to discover any certainty. The 2 clauses in quotation marks are crucial because in them Descartes reveals his purpose, to discover what, if anything, is really certain. It is for the sake of this goal that Descartes resolves to doubt his previous beliefs. An analogy of Descartes' own nicely illustrates his basic strategy. Suppose that you had a basket full of apples, that you feared some of them might be rotten, and that you wanted to find the good ones. How might you proceed? Well, the easiest way would be to turn all the apples out of the basket, inspect them, and put them back into the basket, only the unspoiled ones. Likewise, by trying to doubt all of his beliefs, Descartes hoped to find some beliefs that he cannot doubt, that is, that are genuinely certain. Indeed, this quest for certainty, to borrow a famous phrase from the American philosopher John Dewey, is the engine that drives Descartes' meditations as a whole. Descartes' goal does not come as the conclusion of an argument, so it would be futile to look for some line of reasoning leading up to it. As one contemporary commentator on Descartes points out, it is proper for the course of an inquiry to be guided by its goal, and so far as logic is concerned, the goal of the inquiry may be postulated as a matter of free choice. Descartes states his purpose in the first meditation's opening sentence. Nevertheless, before proceeding with Meditation 1, we should ask why this goal seemed important to Descartes, and why his attempt to attain it remains of interest today. One reason is simply that the question, what, if anything, is really certain, is an intrinsically interesting one. But we live in a world where there are diverse opinions, views, and theories about many matters. Often these views are held with great confidence, yet what passes for knowledge is continually changing, as new scientific discoveries are made and new theories devised. Experts disagree on many important matters. Have you ever asked yourself then whether anything is really certain, or are humans bound to live in a sea of uncertainty, taking their guidance from the prevailing expert opinion of the day, an opinion that may change by tomorrow? Descartes, for one, was profoundly dissatisfied with such a prospect. He was convinced that by careful application of thought, genuine certainty could be found even about matters of the greatest moment. Does the thought that perhaps nothing is certain leave you dissatisfied? Can you sympathize with Descartes' hope that careful thinking can lead to genuine certainty about important matters? If so, then you can appreciate the most basic reason for asking what, if anything, is really certain, the intrinsic interest of the question. Another reason pertains to the nature of knowledge. There seems to be a close connection between knowing something and being certain of it. Suppose I were to tell you, I know that Paris is the capital of France, but I am not completely certain that it is. I admit that it's a little doubtful in my mind whether Paris really is the capital of France. You may well feel that there would be something very wrong with those statements. If I really know that Paris is the capital of France, you may want to insist, then I am also completely certain that it is. Now, Descartes and many other philosophers, both before and after him, have maintained that knowledge and certainty indeed go hand in hand. This provides a further reason for asking what, if anything, is genuinely certain. There are also reasons of a historical kind, though even these have modern counterparts. Let us consider the 2 that exercise a powerful influence on Descartes: the rise of science in the 17th century and the revival of philosophical skepticism. In the 17th century, there occurred a series of scientific discoveries that challenged and eventually destroyed the medieval conception of the universe, a conception that had endured for nearly 2,000 years. According to this conception, which was rooted in the physics of Aristotle, 384 to 322 BC, and the astronomy of Ptolemy, AD 100 to 170, The universe is a sphere with the Earth at its center. The moon, planets, sun, and stars are all revolve around the Earth in fixed circular orbits. The universe contains two regions, the sublunar and the superlunar. The sublunar region is the interval between the moon and the Earth. The superlunar region comprises everything from the moon to the outermost circumference of the universe. The difference between the two regions pertains to the kinds of changes that occur in each of them. In the sublunar region, there are several different sorts of, and that is to be continued. I really like this book because, like I said, it's just a very fundamental introduction to philosophical thought, and obviously Descartes is one of the founders of modern day contemporary philosophy, and a lot of modern day philosophers build on him, and just a lot of these ideas are very relevant. How it mentions that we live in, or are humans bound to live in, a sea of uncertainty, taking their guidance from the prevailing expert opinion of the day, an opinion that may change by tomorrow. We need to rely a little bit more on actually thinking for ourselves, and how we perceive things, not just being basically spoon-fed reality. And there's just a lot of good information in this book, so I'm enjoying it a lot. Thank you.